Hello, I'm Graham Fitch, coming to you from Steinway Hall in London, and I'm going to talk about tone and how to create a beautiful tone, hopefully. But before I do that, if you've not already subscribed to Pianist Magazine's YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button now, and you will be informed immediately something new comes out. So I think if you asked any pianist what their goal in piano playing was, what would they really want, is to create the most beautiful legato cantabile sound, that singing tone that's so elusive and so desirable. And all of the great pianists have that quality that just make you want to listen to them, and also make the piano sound like a voice when we've got a lovely melodic line. So I'm going to give you a few examples of repertoire, but I'm also going to start off by just making a few obvious statements, I think, with this little piece of Schumann, the melody from the album For the Young. Let me play a little bit of it first, and then perhaps I'll talk over the top. Now, the obvious thing there is that my right hand was stronger, louder, if you will, than my left hand. But it wasn't just that. I was using certain other tools, I guess you could call them, to shape the line beautifully so that it sounded like the voice. So, for an example, a singer who was singing quavers would not sing them all equally. You wouldn't hear like that. That sounds very mechanical. Similarly here. There would be an end of phrase there if you were singing that. Breathe, and there would be a breathing place there. Chopin always used to tell his students to breathe through the wrist. So whenever a phrase ended, can you see what I'm doing there? I'm not necessarily lifting my hand away from the keyboard, but I'm breathing through the wrist, taking a new breath here. High note, high point. Now there's a little difficulty that Schumann put in for the elementary player. This would not be needing any pedal, which is why I didn't use any pedal there. So what we've got here is two notes that are played simultaneously, the upper note of which has to be stronger than the lower note. Otherwise I get this. Clonk. So I've got to somehow find a way of playing the A firmer and the F sharp softer, which for the beginning pianist is quite a challenge. So I'd like to suggest a couple of ways that you might do that. The first is cheat. But it's a cheat in a good way. I'm going to use two hands. Because with two hands, it's very easy for me to play the A firmer and the F sharp lighter. And then I see if I can replicate that sound using the one hand. Not bad. Let me go back to this. That's better. See if I can get this as good. Aha, I think I've finally got there. Now, the young player is going to struggle with that. So what we do is a little voicing exercise. We play the upper note, the stronger note first, and we play the softer note afterwards, as soft as we can. Now my job is to get those two events closer together until they're almost simultaneous. And then see if I can play them together. I can do that the other way around. Start off here, and then get those two closer together. There we go. See how that works? So that when I come to that note, now a little bit more of the F sharp. The first time I played it, I ghosted the F sharp. I touched the key without playing, and then I allowed it to sound just a little bit. So my left hand is softer. So what you could do if you're an elementary player or you are a teacher of elementary players is to take a little hand position. Now I quite like the whole tone 5-finger position. Most important when we're playing 5-finger positions, not to lock the hand. So I'm mobile through my wrist. Can you see how mobile my wrist is? You should be able to see this from the overhead camera. Now what I'm going to do is to play my right hand much stronger than my left. And now let me do that the other way around. See how that works? That's a very good exercise to practice. Now, that's the Schumann example. So we've talked a little bit here about breathing. We've certainly talked about tonal balance, breathing and shaping. Now, in an advanced piece, do you remember that little spot we had with the 2 notes playing together? In an advanced repertoire, we very often have the upper part of the right hand needs to be projected. If I play you this tune, listen to what's left of that. Now I hope that mimicked the sound of the human voice. And I'll tell you some of the ways that I was doing that. One is shaping the line. So if I have notes that move like this, do you notice how I gave those semiquavers, those 16th notes, a little bit of direction forwards? This is why it's so important to sing the line. If you can't sing a line, it means you haven't really heard it, meaning you can't really play it. I mean, you can play it digitally, but you won't play it musically unless you really can feel. And then crescendo through. Now I've got to listen to what's left of that F sharp. If I would not listen to what's left of that F sharp and play the G sharp with the same amount of tone, you get a nasty bang. So I have to listen. Here too. Do you hear what I did there? So the note after the long note, I match up. Then I can come out of that again. Now listen again. Intonation. Now, intonation we tend to think of as only relevant in singing or in string playing, but it's absolutely relevant in piano playing as well. If I played without intonation these notes, you just hear a bunch of notes. Now let me add the intonation and a little timing as well. I bent the semiquavers, the 16th notes, just a little bit. That interval of a fourth. I might put a little bit of a portamento if I were a string player. So on the piano, we just feel. Now listen. Diminuendo to the end of the phrase. So that will have fooled you into believing that that was a singer, hopefully, if I did that really well. Now, the underneath of the right hand has this to play, harmony. And there's also an extra note there, a padding note, if you will, another harmony note. I've got to be able to do all of that together with just my right hand. And my pedal. And my left hand's also got something to do. So if I put that together, forwards, I felt myself needing to move a little bit forwards here because a singer who would be singing that G sharp, or the voice, the breath would be moving forwards through the throat. And any good accompanist, when a singer's singing a long note, an accompanist is not going to get sluggish. They're going to just help the singer along a little bit. Now, I want to make a big highlight out of that note. That's what makes music worth being alive for, moments like that. Isn't it that lovely stretch between the fourth? So I want to take a little time there. My voice, my singer would want to take a little time. Move forwards and then take my time there. So there's quite a lot involved in that. It's not just a question of playing the right hand top melody louder than the rest. It involves breathing, it involves intonation, it involves matching up tone, really, really listening. Now, I'm just going to show you a little exercise that from the Cortot. Alfred Cortot made a study edition of these studies and various other pieces of Chopin. This is what he suggests for practicing in the right hand. He's put that right hand part on 3 staves, and let me just play it for you. You see what he's done there? He's encouraging lightness between the thumb and the second finger, marking that stave pianissimo. The top is forte, sonore, espressive, and perfectly connected. And this extra note here, the D sharp in the middle, he's marked mezzo piano, which is a very good way of letting us know that the whole sound is layered. The right-hand sound is layered in that way. So no 2 notes should sound the same when I'm playing a melodic line, because I don't think a singer would sing. They wouldn't be the same vowel sound. There would be a difference in the timing. So we're trying to make a little bit more variety. Now, one thing I would like to just share with you, this came from my last wonderful teacher, Nina Svetlanova. If you're watching, happy 90th birthday to you, madame. What wonderful memories we all have of lessons with you. Anton Rubinstein, who was the founding father of the Russian school of piano playing, used to talk about the dog's paw, meaning that, and this was the piece that I was shown it from, Chopin. So with my right hand, I'm not using fingers as digits. I'm rolling around at the bottom of the key, overlapping. Do you notice the legatissimo there? In order to play beautiful cantabile lines, we need a legatissimo. In other words, overlap. So not this sound, which is ping, 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 ping. I want. So the dog's paw is what I would like to remember about that particular lesson. It's quite a good way of thinking it. My last example is going to be the Beethoven Pathetic Sonata slow movement, and I'm going to show you not the beginning, but this section where we've got, again, another long note. So after this long note, I have to listen. Long note, listen to what's left, match. And I also make a difference between this C, the intensity, that C, which is your highest C, less intense, and then appoggiatura. This note is the wrong note, in other words, a written out wrong note. So I have to play my D softer. Now play the turn vocally. Ba 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 palm, not ta 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 like a machine gun. And another feature of the bel canto sound is if we've got a repeated note, don't do that. Don't play the second note louder. Do it the other way around. So the first note stronger and the second note lighter. No. Let the left hand follow the right hand, like any good accompanist would. I want a little bit of time for that sixth. And I'm interested in the design here. Beethoven's interval. He doesn't go straight down like that. He gives us a little kink in the line, which we do by subtle timing. So these are all features of how to play beautifully on the piano, how to create a beautiful sound. It's not always technical. It's really to do with listening. When I say technical, I'm talking about mechanical. A lot of people search for solutions to piano playing in mechanics, thinking that that's what technique is. Technique is everything. It's how we listen, how we control lines, how we balance the hands, how we practice. This is all technique. So I hope that's given you some ideas that you can experiment with, and hopefully that will help you to create a more beautiful sound on the piano. Thank you for watching.